My grandfather died of cancer, right? He smoked for years, right? Had we known or been more cognizant of the fact that smoking contributes to cancer, we would have told him along, hey, cut it out, stop smoking. You're going to end up dying one day. And sure enough, he did, right? So we got together with our 8th graders at the middle school. We said, hey, counselors, give us the names of the kids who are already failing every class so that we can do something about this. So before they even enter 9th grade, because remember what the data tells us? That if they fail 9th grade and don't have their credits, what's going to happen to them? They're going to drop out. So we created a guided study course. This is the teacher, Miss Brandy Lopez. She's a beautiful combination of tough love. She reads the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens in that class. That's the textbook. But then she also makes sure that these kids are completing their assignments. She has no more than 25 students in the class, and she has kids in the school that are high performers in math, English, and science as aides in the class. These are students at the school that are helping these 9th graders. Now get this, the first year that we tried, the goal was that these kids would finish the school year with all 60 credits. In the state of California, at Baldwin Park High School, in order for them to have finished the 9th grade year with all their credits, they need 60. We didn't hit 60, my friends. Look, 0% of them got 60, but guess what? 3% of them got 55. Is that more than they would have gotten without this class? Yes. And guess what? 10% got 50, and another 10 got 45, and 13% got 40, and 35 got 12. So we had kids, even though we didn't hit our goal, that did well. Look this year. Look how many are getting there. This is halfway through the first semester because our year isn't over yet. It's got 2 more weeks. Look how many of them got finished the first semester with all their credits. 39%. 39% compared to 0% the first year. Is that an increase?
Yeah.
She hit her SMART goal big time. Now the year isn't over yet. Hopefully that 39 grows to 45 or stays at 39. But there's an idea. How about we create a class for all those kids coming in from 6th grade? What does your middle school start at? 6th grade. All those 5th graders coming to us. And we put them in a special class where we're going to teach them how to have good study habits. Because at 5th grade, they're still moldable. They're very moldable still. Right? I know some of them are like not moldable, but break them down, water them down, and make that clay mushy. Right? And mold them. This worked for us. The green, yellow, red prism that I mentioned. We look at kids through green, yellow, and red. So here, this is posted where our teachers sign in. Green means that they have all their credits. They passed the California high school exam. They're on their way toward being graduates. That's our goal, right? Yellow means they're behind 10 credits or less. Red means they're behind 11 credits or more. When I meet with the kids and I talk to them in the auditorium, all 700 freshmen, I talk to them, are you a red, are you a green, or are you a yellow? Like we use 3 little colors to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about. When I meet with the math department, how many of your kids are red? How many of you kids are green? How many of you kids are yellow? How are we going to compliment and celebrate the greens? What are we going to do about the yellows? We have to have a parent meeting for all your reds. Where did I get this idea from? At a stoplight? That person was amazing who invented the stoplight. 3 colors that are used around the world, right? And it was an African-American gentleman who invented it. What was his name? That's right. That's ingenious to me, right? Green, yellow, red. So we use the green, yellow, red. Right here, check it out. This is the sign-in sheet. We update this every 6 weeks. While kids are getting grades, we're sharing how many of our kids are more green, how many kids are yellow, how many kids are red. An idea that you might want to steal, okay? Here's a little closer look at this. Last but not least, we learned the difference between technical and cultural change.
So that was number 6.
Number 6. Actually, no, that's number 6. The red, green, and yellow. This one's number 7. This is the last one, okay? And I'm going to close with this in about 5 minutes. Can I have you for 5 minutes? Do you mind? Has this been good for you?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, check this out here. There is a book out there by Dr. Anthony Muhammad that I must recommend to you. It is the best book that I have read in dealing with adults. It's not about dealing with kids. It's about how do you deal with adults. The name of the book is Transforming School Culture. And Dr. Anthony Muhammad is scheduled to be out here in Atlanta sometime soon talking about this book. It is an awesome, awesome book because it talks about the very challenge of working with adults, okay? Now, in his book, he talks about two kinds of changes, technical change and cultural change. Now, my friends, technical changes are the changes we have in structure. So, for example, if you go from a 6-period day to block schedule, that's a technical change. If you go from there being 35 kids in the classroom to 25 kids, class size reduction, that's a technical change. If you buy a program like Read 180 and you bring it to your school, or what's it, Accelerated Reader, right? That's another program that's out there, and you implement that, that's a technical change. Are you following me here? But here's what he says. You cannot have successful technical change unless you have successful cultural change. So what is cultural change? Cultural change is a change in individuals, in people believing that the responsibility of educating kids is all on the kids and not on me. That we can change the way we look at kids, the way we see them. When you're greeting kids out in the morning, do you see dropouts or do you see kids that will be graduating from your school one day? Do you truly believe that you can make a difference in those kids? Now, let me quickly share a quick story. This is Karen White. This is my boy Julio right here. Okay? Now, this woman, had it not been for this woman, this young man would not be the successful mechanic that he is today. Okay? She's an instructional aide, not even a teacher, okay? But what ends up happening is this kid gets involved in gangs. Well, guess what? He's a scary looking kid when you look at him. The kid is about 6'4", right? But he didn't have a father and he didn't have a mother. He lived in between sisters all his life throughout high school, and on top of that, he was a special ed kid who had his share of disabilities. Had it not been for Karen White, this kid would have ended up hanging out with his homies, getting in trouble. These are some of the kids at our school. We were able to save 5 of them right here. These 3 didn't end up graduating. This kid is one of the nicest kids I've ever met, one of the toughest kids I've ever met, but one of the nicest kids I ever met, but we missed him. He didn't graduate from high school, right? She ends up taking him under his wing. They don't look like a pair that would go, right? And because of him, that's what happened to that kid. It's an amazing story. These stories exist in Atlanta. You know they do. There's some beautiful stories of people who have made an amazing difference. You need to celebrate those stories, and you need to talk about those stories. Because it can happen with one kid, it can happen with other kids. Okay? This person, according to a beautiful person named Crystal Cuiquendo, I always mispronounce her name, writes this book called From Rage to Hope, and she says, what we need in schools are merchants of hope. Anyone who enriches the life of another on a short or long-term basis is a merchant of hope. We need merchants of hope in our schools. And if you're not willing to be a merchant of hope, then you need to seriously consider, and I say this respectfully, whether or not this is the place for you, right? This is our mantra. Never give up. This is what the Dallas Mavericks pretty much decided to do.
Yeah.
Even though they were playing the awesome LeBron. I feel bad for LeBron James because he's getting so much slack. But then maybe not. I also want Dallas to win. So the bottom line, guys, never give up. Look at that poster. This poster is up in classrooms. And I go around telling kids, hey, I need you to be the frog. All right? And they know what I'm talking about. I need you to be the frog. Don't ever give up, man. Don't ever give up. If you give up, you're a quitter. You're a loser. You're not a brave. Baldwin Park High School Braves. This is the poster that's in the room where we have those Tuesday meetings. Are the decisions we are making right here, right now, what is best for our students or more convenient for us? Because sometimes we do things that are convenient for us. Human nature. Because the bottom line is that we're in the business of what? Quickly, let's just go through it. Okay, I gave you 7, right? Okay, let's check for understanding one last time. Number 1. Number 2.
Smart goals.
Number 3.
Collaboration.
Versus
Collaboration.
Number 4. Collective inquiry. Number 5. The intervention, right? The importance of having an intervention coordinator, right? Number 6.
Red, yellow, green prism.
Red, yellow, green prism. A way of looking at your kids through the eyes of sort of the masses, right? I call it the Matrix. You know that movie, The Matrix? I'm a big movie guy. Matrix, man. You got to have a matrix. You got to be able to look at your school and say, all right, who's learning? who's not, and what are we going to do about the kids that are not learning? And number 7 is understanding the difference between what kind of change?
Technical and cultural.
And cultural. It has been an absolute honor being here with you. I hope that you've enjoyed this session. I have my information there in case you want me to come out one day and have this much longer conversation at your school. You're more than welcome to. Please look into Dr. Anthony Muhammad. He is a wonderful, wonderful mentor and scholar in our profession, as well as those folks from Solution Tree. It's been an honor and pleasure being here with you. Shall we go eat?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you.